Okay, so here we go. I'm making a Babadook mask out of this Dracula mask. I pulled all the hair off of it. That is what I did. This whole thing is going to be voiceover just because it's a easy, fast way for me to make a video this week getting ready for Transworld. So I have another mask that's a really cheap skull mask that I got off of Amazon. And then that is a Bela Lugosi Dracula mask that I got from Trick or Treat Studios a few years back. I'm using contact cement. I've cut the mask up because I want the teeth on it. Babadook is the character that I'm doing here. This was shot way back in June when I made Babadook as a character for a gay pride festival that we had here, and that Dark Hour did some promo at. So this is the eyes of yet another mask. And I love that I can show here how all of this kind of goes together. That there is, there's 3 different mask parts here. And those eyes weren't far enough apart, so I cut it right down the middle. Don't be afraid to cut things up and move things around and edit. Contact cement is kind of the great equalizer, and it makes them all one piece. So you'll see, I'm prepping some paper towel here. I'm just wadding up that paper towel to change the shape of the face. This is going to give me like cheek jowls, because this Lugosi mask was just a base. And I put it on a head, and now that makes those teeth stand out the way that I want, the way that Babadook does in the drawing. And then I can put the eyes on and see what a different look that is. But all that is contact cement. With contact cement, you put it on both sides, you let it dry. And a lot of people might use latex for this buildup, but there's nothing in latex that makes it dry fast. So you've got to wait for it to evaporate. It takes a long time. The contact cement has toluene in it, I think it is. And that evaporates off really fast, so it's easier. And now I handed this off to Hallie. And she is speeding up just the drying of the sheets. And I'm kind of making sticky paper here because I put contact cement on both sides, let it dry, and then we can reskin this mask with it. That's the plan. Sometimes I get in and I have to get them to not be persnickety. They want to use a little brush and move things around. Just get it on there. Go. Blah, 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 blah. That's how it works. Hallie is our head of makeup at Dark Hour. Although I don't think she was officially when I shot this video. And you'll see Alex, our head of costume at Dark Hour as well, in the mirror every now and then. All right, so here I'm keeping in mind where the eyes are, where the eyes of the actor are. I've put the eyes where I want them to be for the mask. There's Alex. And now I have all these rough edges of where the masks end, and those are smooth cut lines, and those bits of paper towel are just going over them and just forming a new skin, a new layer, making it kind of homogeneous. And I can build that up, quite a bit. But this is such a simple character. It's kind of weird how he became a gay icon. Go him. But I thought he would be fun for folks to see at this Pride Festival. That was me trying on the mask. Always try on masks as you go, so you make sure that they can fit and you can see. It's very important. This also went on a stilt walker. And I'll show you guys that too. And I'm looking at a cartoon reference, I think, and maybe one of the movie references. I've got them sitting off to the side. And that's how I'm making my decisions on what to put where. I'm not guessing. I have reference. But it's a very weird, very interesting character. That's a Harbor Freight heat gun. And you can see that with the paper towel. Now, because these are finished edges, these are top layers, I'm ripping off all of the straight seams. So the torn edges of the paper towel are really hard to spot. They blend in very well, whereas the straight edges do not blend in as well. I know that's going to be under the hat and covered by hair, but it holds the top of that mask down, so I didn't bother ripping those off. And this is actually contact cement that I have tinted. And I've tinted it with just a black dye. And this is similar to me. There's no reason why I did this except for I wanted it to be black, and I had both those things sitting right there. And I will go and I'll probably just paint it black with black paint. If I recall, that's what I did. But I want, there was a gray mask and a skull-colored mask, and then a weird flesh-colored mask. So this just gave an even coloring for all the black to go onto. Yeah, see, now there's the black spray. This is latex mask paint, 1/3 casting latex, 1/3 latex house paint, and 1/3 distilled water. And I missed some of my dry brushing, but it's a dark gray dry brush is what I did first. And then I painted the eyes in, and I painted the teeth with white. That is not the final by far, but I want to take a look at it and figure out where the hair goes. So this is clear silicone caulking. This is silicone 1. And I'm grabbing my hair. It's hard to work on stuff at the haunt sometimes because you get pulled away to talk about things or whatever it is, but here we are. And then I use these hair tracks for hair weave hair. You can get them at a wig store. You can also buy them online. These are 8-inch wefts. And you can see I put it on and it's real straight, but then you can tease it out with a comb and give it that freaky Babadook hair. And you saw me check the reference. I wanted the hair to be on before I finished painting. And now I can take it back. I can do another coat on the eyes. Anything cartoony like this, you want a real nice flat color, especially on those eyes. I could go in, hit the teeth again, and in low light, I like bright white eyes and bright white teeth. I know it's more realistic to make them dingy and such, but I kind of like it. I'm not sure of exactly what I'm doing, but I'm sure it's important. Maybe I'll know in a minute. Oh, I was cleaning an airbrush. So yeah, now I'm going in and I can airbrush the details. So that just has a softer look. Dry brushing is how I do most of my work. And I'm using that airbrush to kind of push those eyes in and away. Now in retrospect, because this is a stilt walker, I should have made those pupils point down a little bit to look a little more at people. If you're not aware in the mask of where your eyes are looking, he'll look like he's staring straight off into space, but 7 feet up because he's on stilts. So, and here I'm sharpening up those pupils a bit with a Sharpie. Okay, that is my Babadook mask. Real close to having this guy finished. There he is. Let's see him in action. There's the mask made from 3 different pieces. There's him at the show in my makeshift Babadook costume. He is dancing up a storm. Go make stuff, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's time for some shout outs to my Patreon supporters. If you want to get a shout out, you just have to join us on Patreon. There's a link in the video description. So shout out to Scott from Pop Pop's Scare Shop and the Midnight Makers, Tina and Brian Kuziak. Bill Blanchfield from the Haunting Society of North Carolina. And someone asked me to shout out my own crew. I'm going to shout out Rue Newman, who has just taken over as operations manager of Stilt Beast. Go make stuff.